not drinking, and not going out with a trunk full of Molotov cocktails. When I finally roused myself, the street down below was full of black people, some venturing out of their homes for the first time since the first night of rioting. Most of them looked stunned. I went to my office door and out into the hall. There was the smell of smoke in the building too, but not much. Steinman's shoe repair was the only store that had been torched. That was on the first night, when the fire trucks still braved the hails of sniper bullets. The flames were put out before they could spread. I went to the far stairwell from my office and down the 3 flights to Steinman's side entrance. There was a burnt timber blocking the way. I would have turned around if it weren't for the voices. "What the hell you mean you don't have my shoes, white man?" "Everything is burned up," a frail voice replied in a mild German accent. "That's not my fault, man," the angry voice said. "I give you my shoes. I expect to get them back." "They are all burned." "And do you think if this was my store that I could tell you I didn't have nothing for you?" the customer said. "Do you think a black man could just say his store done burned down so he don't have to make good on his responsibilities?" "I don't have your shoes." I shoved the timber out of the way, smudging the palms of my hands with sooty charcoal. When I came into the burned-out room, both occupants turned to look at me. Theodore was a short, powerfully built white man with little hair and big hands. The irate customer was much larger, with a wide chest and a big face that would have been beautiful on a woman. "Hey, Theodore," I said. "Wait your turn, man," the Negro customer warned. "I got business to take care of first." He swiveled his head back to the cobbler and said, "Those shoes costed me $36, and if you can't give 'em up right now, I won't see some money across this here hand." I took a quick breath and then another. There was an electric tingle over my right cheekbone, and for a moment the room was tinged in red. "Brother," I said, "you got to go." "Are you talking to me, nigga?" "You heard me," I said in a tone that you can't make up. "I've been in the house for some time now, trying not to break out and start doing wrong. I've been patient and treading softly. But if you say one more word to my friend here, I will break you like a matchstick and throw you out in the street." "I want my shoes," the big, beautiful man said with tears in his voice. "He owe it to me. It don't matter what they did." I heard his cracked tone. I knew that he was just as crazy as I was at that moment. We were both black men filled with a passionate rage that was too big to be held in. I didn't want to fight, but I knew that once I started, the only thing that would stop me would be his lifeless throat crushed by my hand. "Here you are, sir," Theodore said. He was handing over a $10 bill. "Your shoes were old, you know," the shoemaker said. "And they both needed soles. It was a good make, and I would have bought them for $7. So, here's 10. The burly man stared at the note for a moment, then he looked up at me. "Forget it," he said. He turned around so quickly that he lost his balance for a moment and had to reach out for a broken, charred timber for support. "Ow!" he shouted, probably because of a splinter, but I can't say for sure because he blundered out, tearing the front door off of its last hinge as he went. There was a sleek antique riding saddle on the floor under a shattered wooden chair. I moved away the kindling and picked up the saddle. Theodore had received it from his uncle, who was a riding master in Munich before World War I. I'd always admired the leatherwork. Setting the riding gear on a fairly stable part of his ruined work table, I said, "You didn't have to pay him, Mr. Steinman." "He was hurting," the small man replied. "He wanted justice." "That's not your job." "It is all of our job," he said, staring at me with blue eyes. "You cannot forget that." "Ezekiel Rawlins?" It was a question asked in a voice filled with authority. It was a white man's voice. Putting those bits of information together, I knew that I was being addressed by the police. Chapter 2. He wore a rumpled green suit and a white shirt that had yellowed from too many launderings. He didn't wear a hat, but it was all